What's up, Bears fans? Harrison Graham here. It is mailbag time, so if you have a question, use hashtag Bears and ask away. If you have a super chat, we'll get to those as well. So buckle up. Let's dive in to today's show. From Singray Kim, a $5 super, he says, I love that Jervon Dexter is already a father, and especially the one who gave his son his name. He'll play his ass off to make it in the league for his son. I look, as a new father myself, you definitely have more motivation to succeed in your career when you have a kid, because you want to set a good example, provide, etc. I definitely think there's a lot to that, and if that gives Jervon a little extra juice, a little extra motivation to take his game to the next level, I'm all for it. Brandon Shepard with the super. Justin Fields and the Bears will be the greatest show on grass. That'd be awesome. I've got high expectations this year. I'm not saying there aren't situations where legitimate reasons for shortcomings could come up, but for me, for the most part, I think the hashtag I'm going to use for this season and for Justin Fields, not necessarily for wins and losses, but for playing well consistently, is hashtag no excuses. It's go time. Like, this is the time to take a big leap if you're Chicago. Caden Goodvaldson, how pissed will you be? Appreciate the super, first of all. If Fields takes a leap and we lose Getsy to another team. I mean, I don't know if pissed is the right word. It would be disappointing, but if he gets a head coaching job, like, are we really supposed to be that mad? Like, that's just progression of life, right? Like, if you really succeed at your job, you're going to want to raise, or you're going to want to, better position somewhere else with a different company. So this offense is top 10 in the league, and Justin Fields has a, Pro Bowl, All-Pro type of season. Like, yeah, there's a good chance Getsy's going to get head coaching looks, but, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Hard for Bedard. Listen, what a year for Chicago sports, guys. I mean, unbelievable. The Bears get the number one pick. They end up trading down and get DJ Moore. We know the rest. Blackhawks get the number one pick. What's the guy's first name, Rolly? Connor Bedard. Thank you. I'm not a huge NHL guy, full disclosure, but wow, I mean, you're going to get this kid. I mean, he's a superstar in the making. He asks, should the Bears trade for Matt Judon? We haven't talked about Judon really much here on Bears Now, but he's a pass rusher, and the Bears certainly could use that. You look at Judon's past two seasons here, had 12.5 sacks in 2021. First year with the Patriots, 15.5 this year. I mean, he was even better in 2022. I mean, Matt Judon's a dog. He's a really good player. He would by far be this team's best pass rusher. 53 quarterback hits over the past couple of seasons. Now, Matt Judon is a little bit older. He's 30. He's going to be 31 before week 1 this year. So it's not like you'd be trading for, like, a 26-year-old pass rusher or something like that. I mean, he's an extra contract beyond that. He'll be 31 in August. Now, for most teams, that wouldn't be a problem. But for the Bears, who probably view themselves at least a year away from being a contender, is it worth trading probably a first-round pick for Matt Judon? I don't know. I mean, maybe you get to the NFL trade deadline and you're 5-1. I don't know. But I think that the Bears would probably not be interested if New England opted to sell him at the deadline. But he's a damn good player, man, and he could certainly help out this pass rushing unit. What do you guys think? Should the Bears trade for Matt Judon? Type Y for yes, or you can type N for no. Damn good player. Not sure the timeline fits. From Shane, which free agent does Graham want the Bears to sign? Who do you want me to sign? Yannick Ngakoue. I mean, he's been my top guy. I know he's a little bit flawed. He's not a great run defender, etc. There's a reason he's bounced around a few different teams, but you need pass rush production, and that's something he consistently does. And if you want to go nerdy analytical and say, oh, his pass rush rate last year was, significantly lower. Yeah, well, he still got to the quarterback 9.5 times. Like, I mean, the guy gets home, and you only had 20 sacks last year. So give me somebody that can rush the passer. Mark Peterson, more production this year, Darnell Mooney or Chase Claypool? I like that question. I'm gonna lean Mooney, but the fact that he's still recovering from the ankle surgery has me slightly concerned. I think the Bears deep down would like it to be Claypool. They traded a second-round pick for him, which ended up being the first pick of the second round, number 32 overall. I think they want a reason to keep Claypool around beyond this year. He's in the final year of his rookie contract. Hopefully they both have great years and they make it tough on the Bears who they decide to keep, because I firmly believe they will likely keep one, not both. So we'll see how that plays out. But I'll say Mooney, but I think the Bears are hoping it's Claypool. From Matt Nagy, how's Kansas City, Coach? Given the improvement of the offense, will Bears fans still make excuses for Justin if he struggles next season? I think the quarterback always is going to get excuses from some people because fans naturally fall in love with the quarterback, right? But I do think it'll be much less. Like if we're at week 8 and this team's 2-5 and we're seeing some of the more of the same from Fields. Sure, some exciting plays, but not consistent play, especially as a passer. Like for me, without knowing what those circumstances would be, assuming there's no major injuries, I'm going to start to be more critical this year of Justin Fields. So be prepared for that. Like thanks to you, Coach. I think his rookie year was mostly a wash. Last year, I thought he did some good things, took a step forward, but now with the additions on the O-line and receiver, you had some depth at running back and tight end. It's go time. Like the excuses are running out, I think. And year 3, it's time to make a big move, I think. Join us every week. Bears Now goes live every Tuesday at 4 o'clock Eastern, 3 Central Time. We do some live Q&A, answer your questions. So subscribe, turn on those notifications, join the Noti gang here at Bears Now by Chat Sports. That way you never miss a video. Follow those steps. You'll be good to go. You'll never, ever miss a live show. Super chat from DeJuan Sanders. Appreciate the 5. He says, any chance of bringing Matt Ryan in for some type of coaching role if he retires? Him and Poles were college teammates and have a good relationship. They do know each other, and they did play together, so that is interesting. Matt Ryan does feel like a guy that could go straight into coaching, like be a quarterback's coach. You think of like a Kellen Moore, for example, who just retired and went straight into it. I could see Matt Ryan doing that if he wants to. Does he still want to play? I don't know. I mean, he's not going to start for anyone. I'm pretty comfortable saying that. I don't know what that role would be. Maybe some kind of offensive analyst this late in the game. But, hey, I don't think it could hurt to have a guy like Matt Ryan in Justin's ears. He's had a lot of success in this league, won an MVP, played in a Super Bowl. So, you never know what could happen in the future. From Sammy, do you think we have a top 10 secondary this year? I think it's possible. I wouldn't say I'm projecting that right away, but I do think top half is very reasonable. Your safety duo is really good. Eddie Jackson and Jaquan Brisker. If Jackson comes back healthy after the injury last year, and if Brisker takes a step forward after a solid rookie year, I feel good about that position group. If Tyreek Stevenson can be an adequate CB2 and Kyler Gordon continues to improve as a nickel, we know what Jalen Johnson brings to the table, then yeah, the potential is there. Will it be reached? You got some young pieces you're relying on, but I definitely could see it happening. From JB, will Tyson Bagent be the number 2 quarterback by week 10 or sooner than that? So you're saying it's inevitable that he's going to unseat not only Nathan Peterman, which that probably isn't too difficult, but P.J. Walker as well. I don't think he'll be the backup at any point this year. He's still very raw. He played at Division II Shepherd College, so he's got a ways to go. But he's got some raw talent. He can sling it. I could see him sneaking onto this roster as a third quarterback and keeping Peterman on the practice squad. Thomas Juvenal, why haven't we signed a legitimate pass rusher? Well, DeMarcus Walker last year was a legitimate pass rusher. You signed him. He had 7 sacks, a lot of pressure, so that's not nothing. But I hear what you're saying. Like, I do understand, like, why haven't they signed a Yannick Ngakoue or a Leonard Floyd or this and that? I think Ryan Poles is telling you a couple of things. One, he doesn't want to overpay for these guys approaching 30, and he doesn't view them as long-term solutions. And B, maybe he likes some of these other young guys, wants to see what they can do. I saw an interesting theory recently. OTA's coming up the first set in May. Maybe they want to see the progress Dominic Robinson and Travis Gibson has made, and if it's not adequate, then you go sign someone then. Because chances are one of these guys, Frank Clark, Ngakoue, whoever, still going to be available then. So I'm going to keep an eye on that. But I am with you. I would like to add another veteran pass rusher to this unit. Jonathan Upshaw, how long until Johnson is RB1? Roschon Johnson's going to get a chance to compete right away. Luke Getsy kind of made that clear that it's going to be competition back there. So I think Khalil Herbert gets the first crack at being the starter. I think he's earned that. He's been here. He's done good things. But this Bears regime drafted Roschon. They clearly value him the way they talk about him. He's going to have a chance, and he will have a role. Could Deontay Foreman be in the conversation as the lead back? That would surprise me at this point. Yeah, I think you could be looking at a three-headed monster and ride the hot hand from a week-to-week basis. All right, guys, spam the chat. Get the bear downs going. You can use the emojis, the text, whatever. Bear down, let's go. 2023 season upon us. Let's get it popping. Kenneth Stokes, can we trade for Chase Young with using a first next year with signing of an extension work? I'll be honest, I would not trade a first for Chase Young. Now, if he's balling out this year, has like 8 sacks at the trade deadline or something, and Washington is looking to move him and the Bears are ahead of schedule contending, maybe that changes things. Like, okay, he's healthy, he's living up to that number 2 pick potential for the first time since his rookie year. That could change things. But based on his last 2 years, like if you were to trade for him today, there is no way I would trade a first-round pick for him. Jay Zilla, you think the Bears are more likely to get rid of Mooney and replace him with Scott? If it's down to Mooney and Claypool, I think in a perfect world, Claypool separates himself because he's a bigger guy, can do some different things compared to the rest of your receiver room. And then, yeah, you know, Tyler Scott can take a step forward in year 2. Now, I'm not trying to push Mooney out the door. I like Mooney. He's grown as a player here. I'm just saying, based on the style of receivers you have, you've got more of the smaller, quicker guys than the big physical player in Chase Claypool. He's really the only big physical weapon you have. You know, Equanimeous St. Brown. He's big, but he's a wide receiver 5. Like that's not the caliber of player we're talking about. So we'll see how it plays out, Jay Zilla, but I think in a perfect world, if they had to choose Claypool or Mooney, they'd rather that player be Claypool, in my opinion. All right, guys, if we didn't get to your question, apologies, but you can hit me up on social media. Instagram is @HGramNFL, same handle on Twitter, @HGramNFL. So slide in the DMs, always down to chop up the latest Bears storylines. And if you have any other questions, you can hit me up there as well.